Incredibles back to back. It's almost like he just continued the performance. It's really, really sweet. And he told me that one day. He's like, dude, because of Dogma, I got the fucking Pixar movie. And he's just like, and those Pixar movies are money. So really fucking sweet. So when I watch the movie, man, naturally I fucking fall in love with you all over again. Like, oh, he's fucking adorable. This time around, since I hadn't seen it in a while, I was like, holy shit, Matt's on fire. But I'll be honest with you, the whole time sitting in the back, why I loved it so much. It was such a fucking wonderful journey for me, and thank God I smoked weed before I got here. The movie's so fucking long, man, and it just lasted to the end, and I was like, shit, I didn't bring weed with me, fuck, so I'm fucking stone cold sober right now.
We've got plenty!
I was sitting in the back, and I'm watching Ben Affleck, and I was like, this is my favorite Ben Affleck. This is the Ben Affleck that I absolutely fell in love with. But this was the beginning of the end. This was like the last good time. As I was watching that movie the whole time, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh shit, this is when everybody was still kind of tight and let's all do it together and stuff. But everyone after this movie starts getting really fucking famous and fragmenting and stuff like that. So I was watching in the back going, oh my God, I remember just loving that dude. Every delivery of his really fucking charmed my heart. Just his little asides and shit like that. Oh, he's so damn good, man. Now, that's me. I'm sorry. I'm coming over Ben Affleck. What did you think, man, as you sat in the back and watched?
I jerked it to Ben, too. Like, when he's sitting there reading the magazine, and he's like, what does that even mean?
There's little shit like that I laughed out loud at that. Nobody else did, but that makes me fucking laugh. It's the little shit that wasn't in the script. He's just sitting there and we're rolling, and then he goes fucking, what does he say the line? He goes, but I do believe in this. He goes, I do believe in this. And that was all. He was just supposed to do that. But fucking classic Affleck, he's like, I do believe in this. What does that even mean? He tags up a little bit, and I fucking yelled at him about that in Chasing Amy. He would always do that. In Chasing Amy and shit, he'd fucking add dialogue. We're doing a swing set scene, and he's sitting there, and Joey is describing, Alyssa rather, is describing fisting. And so, he fucking reacts, and he's just like, oh my God, is it hurt? She goes, we only do it once in a while, it's reserved for special occasions. And the line he's supposed to say in the script is, what do you do for not so special occasions? And then she goes on and fucking says something else. So we're shooting it, and action, I'm sitting behind the monitor, got my headphones on. And you hear the line, she does this, puts her hand through, and he reacts, and looking at the little monitor, and she goes, it's only something we do, it's reserved for special occasions. We only do it once in a while, it's reserved for special occasions. And then Affleck goes, Jesus, what do you do for not so special occasions? He just hit her in the head with a fucking bat. I was sitting there listening, I was like, that's not in the script. I'm like, God, and I walked over and I was like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, you like that shit? I was like, not at all, you really ruined a tender moment. He's like, tender? You're talking about fisting, man. I threw that in for my peeps. This is 1996, he had no peeps whatsoever. Do me a favor, fucking keep your dialogue out of my movie. This is my movie, my dialogue. You want to write dialogue, go write it in your own script, make your own movie. And he did, he won the fucking Academy Award. So, back to you. Go ahead.
No, there was a bunch of moments that I like that whole movies thing when they're going around explaining everything and what each person did, and then him saying, you didn't say God bless you, he's like, you're lucky.
We all just watched the movie, don't re-describe it. And Chris Farley is like, do you remember the part?
Same thing I'm just all the different stuff. I remember the days, I remember shooting on that train and they rock it. It's funny because you're actually sitting in the train car and there's dudes outside with fucking sticks rocking the thing, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
And if you look at the window in the background, you see the lights passing by, there's literally one person with 2 light bulbs on a stick on a wheel. And they go that way slowly, and then they turn it off, shuffle back, and they go that way. It was a low-budget movie, man. It's like $10 million in 1998-99, and it was way more ambitious than we had the budget for. So everything that took time suffered on this movie. Anytime it threatens to look visually interesting or something cool happens, we cut away and everyone reacts to it. In the bar scene, man, Gotham shows up and a gang goes after him. It's just a series of everyone else reacting to something off off camera, and that's not because like we couldn't do it. It was just we would start to do it, and I would get so fucking bored, and I would turn to Scott and be like, "Shooting action is boring, man. We should be shooting dialogue." He's like, "We need this," and I was like, "No, we don't. Not really. We don't need this sequence. We don't need to see the fucking violence and shit. What happens? We just cut to the other side." And he's like, "It's in the script." I was like, "I'm the writer. Fuck it. Let's cut it." So that happened there. That happened like when Loki comes into the boardroom and shit. Like if you watch the scene, he moves the chair over to the side just before he fucking heads out and shit. And the idea was when he came back into the room with the gun, he's like, "I do believe in this." He jumped on the table and there was a fucking ballet of violence straight out of fucking Sam Raimi, blowing fucking heads, holes through heads. Everyone at that table with the exception of the girl, and I believe the woman, and I believe even the woman may be, they're all stunt people. Like that's why nobody fucking talks in that scene except for the dude at the head of the table. Everyone else is all fucking quiet, and some of them look like fucking, they're built like linebackers. But that was because they were all stunt people, and they were meant to fucking like be doing this amazing sequence which we had mapped out and
Remember that
storyboarded.
he gets up on the top of the table. It was awesome.
He jumped up, he did cartwheels, he was fucking firing the gun and shit. It would have been a real breakthrough for Kev Smith, visually speaking. But then on the day, man, we shot all that fucking dialogue and shit, and then I was just like, oh, now we gotta shoot the stunts, man. I pulled Moser aside, I was just like, you know what we could do, man? He's like, let me guess, somebody's gonna react from off camera. I was like, yeah, bitch, Ben is out in the lobby. So we cut to Ben, read a magazine, he says something saucy, and then we come back to the aftermath. And he's just like, that's the way I want to do it. I was like, yeah, fuck sitting around shooting this. Let's just do this and get out. So every time the movie threatened to look cool and shit, I was like, sabotage that shit, man. Life's too short. But that's the kind of stuff that I was thinking.
Except when it came to your stunts. It's funny watching it because you wind up kicking ass. You're hitting Ben with fucking chairs. You're tossing people out the window.
You call me hitting Ben with a folding chair a stunt? Stuntmen everywhere are just like, you prick. You have no respect for our field.
What if you went high and hit him in the fucking face piece and shit? So you had to time it just right, and he had to be like... Right, so... And
yes, he's very talented.
And then you had a drag mad shit, and you had the kids, the 3 kids in the middle, and sneaks to the knee! Like this and this. You were kicking ass in that, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's what
I feel good. You don't have to make me feel good or something like that.
He's good, right? He's
I'll tell you, man, what I was thinking of as watching the chain sequence, aside from watching them fucking fight, was Ben at one point. Like when I grabbed Ben, he goes, "Shula pop," and then boom, he goes out the fucking train. And that was never explained in the movie, and it really, if you hung out on the message board back in the day, we over-explained it, but it came from, like, off-camera chatter on set. Like, one day, Affleck was just like, hey, man, do you think, like, fucking Bartleby, it was weird, because he actually asked a